Looks like the stream is going. Nice. Happy Saturday morning, everyone. Uh, Thanks for watching along here. Um, just make sure that's showing everything correctly. Okay. Looks like I might have a little bit of a freeze on this other window. Oops. Well, I may have asked Finale to do too much, or for my computer to do too much. um, Let me start closing some other things and see what we can do. Might be able to close this window and then all right, let's see if I think the issue actually might be that I haven't saved it locally. So it's trying to do all this um let me make sure it's on this one. Sorry, I know I'm jumping right in here, but I just started working on, yeah, it doesn't even know that this one's open. Yeah, it thinks I still have the other file selected, but I don't. All right. I may have to open that. You know what the problem may I think the problem is I opened this from my email and it may not be able to access that place anymore, especially since I closed my email. So let me turn off the display capture here just so you guys don't see any private info or something. So basically what I'd like to do is update my composition for a full-on wind band. Um, that would be adding a double bass, an upright double bass, bowed and pizzicato, and an even harp. So, oh wow, I may have to close Finale down completely. To make this work. Okay. Huh? Nope. Don't try to save changes to it now. You didn't. It wasn't working before. Okay. So let's let you all see what's going on again. There we go. Sorry, I'm using my laptop. I don't have the benefit of having a second monitor to monitor the stream, so you just have to see the matrix there when I open that up. So yeah, I'm gonna fix this problem I'm going to save this as, I'm going to save the little number after it too, just to make sure it's weird. Alright, so I'll save it under Finale Projects here, save it locally, that way it doesn't have to try to pull out of some temporary file every time it wants to do something with this. So then the other thing I've got to do is open, let's see, I should have saved it. Yep, Windband. I just saved it as that. So you can see here I've got a proper title page going on, and then I'll have a remarks page here, and then of course the score starts. Now I already copied the flute part over. I'm sure you can see it has some issues going on, like a huge U right there for some reason. So actually I'm going to get rid of that, get rid of all that information. I'm going to go back to, oh, back to my desktop, I guess. I'm going to go to my other score here, and I'm going to use a feature that is really helpful. I'm going to select, you can see here in this score, if I zoom in, you can see I've got a measure of 4, and then it's all in 6 after that. Well, that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to use a filter here. I'm going to edit the filter. I don't need any of the markings or anything like that. Special alterations. That's going to be interesting. So this, the measure numbering I want to keep, staff styles, and the measure settings, time signatures especially. I don't need to get into that. The key signatures I want, measure widths, I don't really need all that. I don't think there are any repeats. System breaks, I don't need to keep that. And let's just go ahead and copy the clefs just to be safe here. Graphics assigned to measures. Sure, I don't think there's really going to be anything there. Now, when I've set up this filter, it will automatically check the use filter box. That's something you should know. And now I want to copy the information from the flute part here. So I'm going to hit Control C, just that nice classic shortcut. And then I'm going to select the flute part on this and hit Control V. And now I'm looking for it to have copied all those things. And I see that it hasn't because I've still got everything in 6.4 here. But there I see we've got to switch to 4.4. So where did that happen? It must be taking this, does it say broadly above it, or do I just need to delete the first several bars of my piece here? Because there are also some other tempo or some time signature changes, and it seems to not care. It does not care about that. So then, in that case, what I will do is grab the entire score here, and you'll notice the selection on there is a lot wider. So now it should be grabbing all those things I highlighted. So I'm going to Control copy all of that. And I'm going to Control all on here, Control A and Control V. Now let's, now we see the time signature has changed. The key signature has changed. This is actually not showing a key signature. Let's see if am I showing in, I don't like whatever it's done to the clefs here. So, that's fine. What I can do is, I can just, and I don't have to click on what I'm working with to edit the filter. I can go in here and edit it like this. So I can do key signatures, cool. Beats, yeah. Split points, I'm not really sure if I need that. Time signatures. Copy the clefs. Let's not copy them at all. Let's just never copy them. Get rid of that. MIDI data, I haven't put any MIDI data into this. Graphics assigned to measures. I don't think I have any of those, so I don't really want to worry about it. Staff styles, that would be like 1 bar repeats or little slash marks for like keeping time or something like that. I'm actually going to get rid of those too. Partially because I don't think I've used any, and secondly, because if I did, I may change my mind about them. So let's go with this filter and see. I did Control A, Control C on there. Now I'll go into this one, Control A and Control V. Okay, this time we've kept our clefs where they go. That's really nice. Got our harp and piano in there. Okay. We've got our key change, time signature changes. Wonderful. All the stuff I want. Oh, I see I do have a little repeated enclosure here at the end. You know what, I think I did that. I added that in recently because I wanted to allow for some narration to happen at the end of the piece. And you could see it's having an issue loading all of this because I'm not, I added this in later, so. Yeah, I wanted to make sure there was an allowance for some narration at the end here. So it's good that I didn't copy like the page styles or anything like that, or it might have messed up the way that looks here. Okay, so now I can go back and I can edit, and this is just such a great feature, the filter here, the copy filter. So now I can go back, I can get rid of some of these things here, like I won't really need to worry about these things now. I can get the bar line styles just in case there's something like a double bar or something like that. I'll even grab the note positioning because I may have made some important changes there. Page breaks, I don't want to worry about that because that's going to be something I go in and look at afterwards, and I'm going to be moving a lot of stuff around inside of this other score once I have everything carried over. Special alterations, I'm going to do the stems and note beams, beam breaks, note head accidental, and all those kinds of alterations. Yes, you want to keep those. Beams, dots, ties, yeah, let's just keep all of those. Text, yes, I definitely want to keep those. And I want to copy the notes, definitely. And I want to copy all of these things. MIDI data, don't really have any of those. Graphics assigned to measures, maybe let's go ahead with that. Staff styles, I still shouldn't have any of those. So, okay. I'm going to copy the flute part over to this flute. Now, you see immediately there's some weird stuff going on. This huge U, this huge P here. Gonna get to all that, don't you worry. Now let's copy the oboe part. Get it going on oboe 1 and 2. Yep, same deal with the weird, and it's just because the articulation, or sorry, the markings fonts are different. I will fix that. So clarinet 1, clarinet 2, and in this score, clarinets 2 and 3, so I may have some A2 parts and then some all parts. Okay, now I've got alto sax and tenor sax. So this was a thing I changed here. I don't have a soprano sax in this part, so, or in this score, so I'm gonna move this to, I'm gonna move the alto sax part down to soprano sax. I'm gonna move the tenor sax part to bassoon. And unfortunately there's also a baritone sax part that I'll need to account for. That would also, I would normally move that to bassoon as well. Do I have, I only have one horn here. So actually what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy the horn part, and I'm going to move it down to the 1 and 2 part. I'm going to move the tenor sax part to horns 3 and 4. And then I'm going to put this bari sax part on the bassoons in this score. That'll work just fine. Bassoons cover a huge range. Won't have a problem covering any of that. And I'm going to go back and, believe me, I'm going to go back and change this. I'm not going to leave it just copied and pasted like this. I've got some edits to make in the instrumentation. Trumpets 2 and 3. A horn, trombone. Let's go ahead and put that in 1 and 2 here. Finale does not like me switching back and forth between windows this much. Bass trombone, I actually kind of forgot that I put that in here. In this score, I should say. This ensemble. Baritone. I'm gonna switch that to bass clef euphonium. I did have that already in here, so that's good. Tuba. I wrote for both because I just happened to be working with an ensemble that had a treble clef reader on baritone, so just wanted to make sure I accounted for both there. Vibraphone. I love vibraphone. Ooh, that is definitely the wrong marking. Percussion 1. I should have a timpani in here too. I guess I didn't do that. Well, there's going to be one in here now. Percussion 1, which I didn't call them 1, 2, or 3 on here because just didn't need to. But I'll split them up here, and then I will definitely be adding a timpani part. So I have copied everything from this score that I need. So I'm gonna leave it open, just minimized here, because I may have to reference it for some of these percussion parts. And obviously you see like this is, I know that this 3/4 thing happening here is a trill marking. Um, but that's not actually what I want. So I'm going to change that. There may come a time down here where there's like something like these markings, and I actually meant it to be something else, and I'm not sure what I meant it to be. So I'll have to reference the old score to see what it looked like on there so I can see what I intended. Wonderful thing is, Finale is going to make this really easy for me. So I'm going to select the expression tool here. All these humongous letters are expressions. Now I'm pretty sure, but like I said, I'll go back and double check that these are all meant to just be piano. Yep, piano right there. Oh, I see what I did on the vibraphone. I put the roll marking there. So here's what I can do. I'm gonna select. I only have to select one of them. I'm gonna edit the expression definition. Piano velocity equals 49. Wonderful. Sure. Actually, I've made a mistake. I'm going to open the expressions box here. Well, I can do that just by double clicking on it. There we go. Now here's this humongous. I can zoom in here to make it a little easier to see. Like this P. Thankfully, it's showing me here what I meant by that, and that's actually really helpful. Pianissimo. Okay, awesome. Here's what I can do. I can click on delete, and it's gonna go, hold up, man. You've got this in your score like a lot. So thankfully, I've got this option to just automatically replace it every time it was there. Just replace it in the score with something. I've got this beautiful, normal looking piano marking right there, and boom, done. And now, if I close this box, when I go back to my score, everything that had that huge, crazy piano marking now has a normal looking piano marking. Alright, sorry about that. I had to take just a little break for a second since I'm live streaming. Live things still happen. So, um, I've done that with the piano marking, thank goodness. So, now I'll just do the same thing for all the others. And I can do this quickly because now where did that Oh, I've selected the wrong. Ha! I had the wrong one selected. I was like, where did those huge markings go? You did this. Let's just make this huge and go with it. So I can do this a lot faster this time because I just won't show you what it's done every time. So here's mezzo piano. Delete it. I'm gonna guess it's number 6 here. Yeah. Pick that one. Okay, now it's done. Mezzo forte. This, so you can see how easy Finale makes this really nice. Forte, delete it, replace it with a normal looking forte. Done. Sforzato, not even sforzando. So that is actually this, but I think I want to just go with this one. Yeah. Let me check that out just to be, yeah, that is sforzato. Okay. This would be yeah, sforzando. Sforzato. And then I guess double sforzato. It doesn't say anything different. Anyway, now we've got this one. Pianissimo. Oh, okay. Easy. Let's get that replaced with one of these. Everywhere it is, and boom. Those weird markings are gone, and they are all replaced with normal markings. And I know if I hit cancel, it just closes this window and doesn't cancel everything I just did, but it's just that word makes me feel like something is gonna undo, so I just close this. I always hit the X on this window. I just don't need to take that chance. Okay, let's. Yeah, everything so much looks very normal now. Oh, there's that thing. So, that's probably also an expression. So, easy. I can just open this up again. Let's go to the tempo marks. See if we have any crazy stuff here. Nope. Tempo alterations. No, everything looks normal there. One player, all. I don't know why I have that 2 separate times, but fine. Technique text. That all looks fine. Rehearsal marks. Sure. Miscellaneous. That might be, I don't know. Tempo marks. Wow. I guess that happens a few times. I could, jeez. It's not offering for me to replace any of them, so that means there aren't any of them in the score, or it knows that there are copies. I think if I tried to delete that one, it might. Oh no, because there's another one right there. So there we go. Tempo alterations. So actually, and same problem, that must be an articulation, which yeah, that makes sense. So I can do the same thing in here with the articulations. I can kind of back up Go all the way down to the bottom because that's where it's going to have added the articulations that I copied over from the other score. And I'm gonna go to this one. Sorry, undo that. I don't want to add that articulation. I want to get rid of it. So let's see. Let's edit that and see what it. Is there some kind of description for it? Doesn't look like it. So this is where I might need to check out the other score. But I do have a big one at the beginning of this, which makes me feel like it's a I don't want to say the wrong term for this, but the railroad tracks is what everybody calls it. And it's not, it's a fermata. So that's definitely not the same marking. So I can do this here. I can go here, delete it. Uh-oh, you've got this all over the place in your score. Surely you don't want to just undo everything. And to that I say, don't call me Shirley, and yeah, I want to replace it with a fermata that looks normal. Okay. And then close that out. Boom. Now it's a normal looking fermata. So I've just got to find these other things in the original score, like where the heck this stuff shows up. So here we've got 3/4. I know I intend for that to be a roll. So like, can I get to a space where I can see the full markings here? Because that's kind of a lot going on. Okay, 3/4, 3/4. It's showing the it's showing both versions of that marking, the above note and below note markings. So I wanted that to be a roll on those notes. So I'm going to select that and hit OK, and we are done with that. Ooh, the upside down exclamation mark there. What are we going for with that? Oh, the pedal. Yeah, because of course the vibraphone has a pedal. We also have a dynamic marking on it. I'm assuming that's already changed. Can I double click that? No, no. Now, to be fair, I could go in here. I could edit this like this. Come in here, find the symbol, change the symbol to make it match. But I'm doing it this way, holding in mind that it's created an extra one down here. Which means if I then correct this to the right font, I'm going to have two pedal markings now. And if I want to add one somewhere, I'm going to select another pedal marking, and it's just going to create all this nonsense for me I don't want to deal with. So I'll go here and select the pedal marking that I want it to be, and OK, done. And now there should be a big release marking here. Yep, there it is. And I already know that the asterisk there is meant to be, oh, sorry, not edit. See, I talked about doing it, and then I tried to do it. That should be the release symbol, pedal release. And there we have that. And I like that this box has a done symbol over it instead of just a cancel. That makes me feel a little bit more final there. All right. Let's find some other weird markings. Oh, I have to select a note for this to work out. One thing that I like, I don't see where I can sort of point this out in the score. Like, where is that marking? Because if I could, then it would be a lot easier to do this. Oh, wow. So that must be an accent. Yes. Um, it's interesting that I've got it over, or is this actually assigned to, where's this, where has this one been assigned? That's interesting. Why would I assign it to this trumpet and not here? Not to this one or to this horn? Boom, B. And then here are these marcato dots, even though I marked it marcato back here. So yeah, these are obviously, these are dots, so I'll go ahead and take care of that. There we go. Delete them. Just go with the dots. Okay. That's nice. And I'm just gonna, I shouldn't assume, but I feel like I have to assume that these are accent markings, even though they have that weird property of being in places that maybe they were, they were on that trumpet and that horn. They were just so out of place with the placement and the font and everything that they looked not in the correct place. So let's find those other markings that are showing up there. I'll go ahead and make this large. And let's zoom out a little bit. See if we can find those. That's just such a, I love this big, huge part of the score here. I have a breath mark. That makes sense. Let's get rid of that and find our little breath marker here. Oh, it turns out I can double click to make that happen. That's nice. And then I'll close this to make sure it ended up looking the same. Okay. And it looks like I have one more to go. Should be easy to find. It's a humongous Z. That would make me think it's a, I was trying to get maybe a buzz roll or something, but I don't see that anywhere. So this might be the point at which I just stop worrying about this and I go like, I'm gonna find this thing in the score later. I'm gonna be going through this, and I'm gonna find a humongous Z in the score. Um, and maybe I shouldn't worry about it. I know I don't have anything in the harp or piano parts, so it's all gonna be. Oh, I see. I may have missed that. All gonna be in the brass, I guess, because I already scanned the top few rows. There we go. Yeah. Well, what was different about this roll? Why does it look different from the one from the vibraphone? Because I don't. Uh, let's see. Yeah, there's a cymbal roll there, but that's not the right place. I'm looking for. Can I get a measure number here? Definitely need to change that. Put measure numbers at the bottom of these pages. Oh, sure enough, I was going for that. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's probably a good use of that marking. That's really what I intend, is for it not to be any kind of open stroke roll, which is a very tight, buzzy roll. All right, replace that, close it, boom. Done. Okay, so all those weird markings that came along with the other score are gone. Let me edit these percussion parts and make sure they're playing the right instruments. This is going to be a little bit more of a task. Now I know I want this as a triangle. So I need to go to, what I'll have to do is, I know I want this to be a triangle, so I'll need to go into my window and score manager. And I'll have to go into percussion here. Basic orchestral percussion, beautiful. And go into my notation style settings. So basic orchestral percussion. Um, and yes, I could have selected a one-line triangle part, but there are definitely times when the triangle is not playing that percussionist can do other things. So I'm just gonna leave it where it was, and I don't remember if it was orchestral. Yeah, basic orchestral percussion. And now I'm gonna edit that. So and this is where I haven't done my due diligence because I forgot that I have this all over. So let's go to this one because, oh yeah, score manager, percussion, and let's see what I've got selected here. Just percussion, edit, bass, snare, tambourine, crash cymbal, and triangle open. Okay. So what do I have going on in this part? Well, it doesn't really matter. Bass, snare, tambourine, uh, cymbal, and triangle. I'm gonna have to have those on this percussion map either way, even if I don't use it on everything. So snare drum, great. Left hand, don't really need that. A snare roll, okay. Side drum, no. Bass drum, yes, please. Bass drum roll, I don't think I have any of those. Crash cymbal. suspended cymbal roll. Now it's showing me in italics here that this note doesn't exist for me. So I'll have to go with a suspended with a crash cymbal to get the roll out of that. Yeah, and I just don't have these. I don't have these in the MIDI map there, and I don't want any of those. I don't need a large, medium, or small gong. I do have that. I don't know what it's going to do differently with this snare roll. I guess I can find out. Um, Triangle note head, I'm a little disappointed. I feel like that's usually an X note head, but I will leave it. I don't want to contradict if that's usually what it is in orchestral percussion, and Finale is good about that, using some of the more widely accepted, like, note head traditions and things like that. It did say I had a tambourine in here somewhere. I really don't think I used a tambourine. The following types are in use, but have been removed. So crash cymbal 2 was being used. Let's see if that's what this was. Back it out. And that's so nice that Finale warns me. It turns out it was. So that's the one I want. And now we're going to see. So, see, I left the tambourine out of there, and Finale didn't even. It was like, what tambourine? Did not care. So let's go out of that. Now I could. I didn't do this for the original one because I wasn't too worried about listening back to it. But like for instance, here we've got this suspended cymbal roll, and I could go back in here and go through. So let's go through like the score manager here and go to this is just it just happens to be the second one. Go in here, edit, and we can go like so here's the MIDI map we're using, basic orchestral percussion, and I can check it out. So Garriton, basic orchestral percussion, sure, whatever. I can get rid of some of this stuff just to make it easy. Bass drum roll, I don't need that. Side drum, left hand. So I can get rid of these things that I'm not using. That's just going to make this a lot easier to navigate. And then here, yeah, we start getting into a lot of stuff. Suspended cymbal, short choke with stick. Suspended cymbal roll. And crescendo. So now I'm looking at that. I see that it is in the map. And I'm wondering why that's not happening. So I can click OK here. It takes a second for it to make all those changes. So let's add one. Because we can't, unfortunately, we can't just duplicate one. Thankfully, this doesn't have any note head changes, so I can just throw it back up there. And now you see these are all the MIDI things we're left with. So that's actually really nice. So what it's saying is, okay, I have that suspended cymbal roll now. it has a number 92. And just in case I want to test that, I can go, okay, VST banks and effects. Open all that. Let's see. Oh, I didn't check on which one has that. I bet this one has it. It'll have orchestral percussion. Yep. And I can look for, see the settings here. Where's number 92? I can't remember where it shows me the number that it's playing. Those are, we're definitely in the high numbers here. So here are those suspended cymbal rolls. So I hope those are the correct numbers. I guess I'll find out. Let's see if I play it here. Oh, I haven't, though, edited it away from being that crash cymbal to the suspended cymbal roll. So I should do that, and now but it's crushing the release, and I don't want it to do that, so I just put a tie on it, and that should indicate to the player and hopefully to the program that I want it to just keep going after that. Let it ring. And it's still not doing that for some reason. It may also be the playback setting that I have going on. So let's have it actually use the human playback. And I always do this. Playback region, always start at the leftmost measure. I want it to be able to start in the middle of the piece. Otherwise, I'll be way up here in the measure 100s. I'll hit play and it'll jump all the way back to the beginning of the piece, and then I'll be frustrated. So I think what I may have to do is actually terminate this with crash cymbal. I think that's the wrong note hood. It's so I've got it mixed up here. It's confused because it wants to terminate this roll. I want it to terminate in a strike on the cymbal, and then it like dissipates off into something, but I don't have that. So let's see. If suspended cymbal roll is number 92, let's back out of here and open up our banks and effects. Let's go to this one. Nope. It was number 2, bank 2. Let's go to this basic orchestral percussion. So this seems to be that when I release it goes on. That gets choked. when I release it. I'm not. Ooh, that's really nice. That's actually a cymbal roll crescendo. That must be number 94. That's really nice. Oh, and that's 95 and 96. All right, so it just counts up from left to right here. So that's the roll. That's the roll without a choked cut. And this is also the roll, obviously the roll crescendo. And it seemed like it also, let me release it one more time, make sure it doesn't choke off. It kind of chokes. But I see that what I really need to do here is go into my percussion map and change that roll. You can't change it from here. You have to go into the map, which really is a little painful. Change it to 93 so that it does not choke at the end of the roll. And then, so I just click OK on that, save it. It takes a second because it's got to change quite a few things. I'm going to go in here and go for, I'll just put it up here so it looks different. I'm going to go with that crescendo, and I'll try that out in a second as well. Might as well, like, see if it sounds better than the roll. So now we've still got the suspended cymbal roll. Let's see how it sounds. Not very, not very subtle. So let's go with the crescendo loud. I'm worried about this note not having it terminate correctly. Yeah, and I feel like that didn't give it enough time to do anything. And also the articulation marking may be because you notice when I was doing it on the keyboard, I had to hold the key down, but that roll marking keeps restriking it, so it's starting over at 0 literally every time. Okay, that didn't do anything for me. Let's start it here, and let's make sure I'm on the right. I'm on the crescendo, yeah. I don't hear anything happening. Let's do it without the human playback, see if... Nothing is happening down there. That's pretty odd. Well, let's, instead of restriking the cymbal roll, let's try it like this without the roll marking. Not really a lot of dynamics going on there. And then it chokes it out anyway. I'm a little confused by what I should expect from these notes now. I can go in the score manager here and solo this percussion line, see if there's anything at all coming through. Ooh, I barely heard something happening right at the end. So maybe I'll just kind of experiment with this. Maybe if I move this mezzo forte marking here, it'll crescendo. Yeah, I just barely heard that at the end. That's, that just takes a long time and it's not really convenient. I shouldn't have to, I don't want to have to tie it 3 whole notes back just to get a crescendo in this one bar. It's a little ridiculous. What if I tell it to just start? And at this point, I'm just experimenting to find out what this thing will do. Maybe if I tell it to start fortissimo, it'll jump in. It started at the leftmost measure. Nope, still does the same thing no matter what. Um, I'm kind of just gonna toss that up to it being a, not a great MIDI note. And I'm gonna have to just manually have a suspended cymbal roll in here. Oh, I don't know if you could hear Kitty kind of groaning at me. She's getting comfy. Alright, so I'll just draw this back up. Put that measure on the left end so it starts there. Yeah, my only kind of issue with it is it starts louder than I want it to. Let's tell it what volume to start, since it seems to be confused. That didn't really help. Wow, that sucks. Uh, it's either take forever or ooh, I like that roll. That's nice. Yeah, this key has just like no dynamics. And I can tell because look, you can see the further toward the end of the key I strike, the louder the dynamic. On this key, no difference. Here, no difference. Here it makes a difference. I'm holding it at the bottom of the key. Now how about the end? And it should actually get louder now. Yeah. So I'm just supposed to, like, I just have to depend on it to be literally that length of time. Is there, have I, like, done something wrong? I'm starting to think, so there is a set of these, for instance, if I go here, Nolly default bank. There we go. Okay, so it is doing the finale bank. Yeah, I guess that just can't be changed. But this also has no... It only has one key velocity. That's all you get. I could try... I could see if there's another percussion patch that will do it. Percussion toys. That doesn't seem like that'll have that. Band. Marching percussion. Cymbals. Ah, I clicked the wrong thing. Euphonium section. Band. Cymbals. Let's see what's... That's a drastically different sound. What? Kind of a scrape. Crash. Choke. Just must be markings for kind of different kinds of cymbals. That rings out. It's really light. Maybe I could play... Oh, you know what this is? This is a... I think I know what that is. Is when you, like, sizzle the crash cymbals against each other. Scrape, yeah. It's just, if I use... So, I'll take you through my thought process here. If I use this one, and I put that roll articulation on it, then finale is going to keep restriking this key. Louder and louder every time with the dynamic underneath it. And you're just going to hear that new attack every time. And it's going to kind of cancel out the decay of the strike before it. know if I could get. These are just little things you would put in, like a let's see, percussion, vintage sci-fi bowed percussion. Definitely not looking for that. Mixtures, delicate orchestra. Yeah, it's just feels like nothing's gonna be there for me. So I just kind of have to deal with this. There's not a separate cymbals thing here. I can't imagine it's in any of the percussion toys. I guess I could check that out. Got some wind chimes. Crotales. Yeah, I just, nothing's gonna be there for this. Okay, it's, okay, empty, thank you. So that just means it's time to move on. Um, I'm not really gonna be able to nail down this effect. So it's time to move forward and not burn any more time on this. So let's try to get this as close as possible. Sure, I feel like the dynamic could be more pronounced. Maybe I should switch this to forte. And that'll get the point across. Well, I feel like the player, the musician who reads this, will get the point. So, I'm just gonna let that be then. And I accidentally got rid of my piano marking when I deleted that note to replace it with a whole note. There we go. Alright, and now I can go into the score manager, unsolo this percussion, and hear it with everything else. I feel like something's happening. Like, do I need to get rid of the tie? Do I need to just have it be a suspended cymbal, like... hit? I don't know. It's kind of getting on my nerves at this point. Oh, I do not need to open that. I do not need the mixer. I want the score manager. Go into these settings. I'll edit this, and I'm just going to get rid of that crescendo thing. I'm going to get rid of it here, too. Remove that note type. Got this going on. Don't really need these. This shouldn't be used anymore. So the suspended cymbal roll. I guess the only other thing I can do is get a suspended cymbal mallet kind of strike, you know? So let's select a note type to add cymbals. Suspended crash, please. Wow. Jeez. Let's do suspended with mallet loud. Add it. See, the thing is, it has no idea. It's like, okay, what note then? It has no clue what to do here. So then I would have to go back to, let's go with 91 or something. I don't know. So the roll is 93. Please specify a note type. Okay. There. Okay, fine. Just change them to MIDI notes. This is starting to get crazy. Makes and effects. So the cymbal roll was 93, which should be A flat right here. And so that's 92, 91 with a stick. 90. No. Well, I mean, that's the roll. I'm sorry, that's actually 93. It's 92 with the choke. Really feels like that's with a stick, and it's choked. That's a soft hit with a stick, not choked. A tam-tam roll. Those are all snare, and these are all bass. And a bass drum roll, that's cool. Alright, that's really all I'm gonna get. So I'm done making that effort. Gonna go ahead and get rid of this. Just have a suspended cymbal roll. Okay. Okay. Get out of here. One way I can sort of solve this is to make this an eighth note instead of a quarter note, and that will sort of show just to hold it over to enough to get into beat one and then release, like stop doing the cymbal roll. Let's go over here. Yeah, don't worry, just totally ignore the dynamics. That's cool too. Is there some kind of like, so this is when I can go to the preferences, dynamics, hairpin, pair emphasis, auto expression. Okay, dynamic approach for sustaining instruments. Volume plus velocity. Bass instrument volume for balance. We just go for 50%, and then Actually, I feel like it's all set up to be around there. All this kind of stuff, you know, just. It's all using human playback, so that's correct. With dynamics and volume, I can't adjust this to where this dynamic approach for sustaining instruments, and I think it's counting the cymbal roll as a sustaining instrument. I can use this to make sure it uses a volume controller, which may put that in after the fact for this cymbal roll. Let's check it out. It did not do that. And in fact, it negatively affected something back here. So I need to, like, that doesn't need to be happening. This is just a, you know, as you add more features to things, it kind of adds more, you know, things could start, conflicting. Let's see if it'll let me play. Well, it won't. So it didn't change the velocity of that cymbal while it was being held. Let's change it again. Let's try the expression plus velocity. And I'll just click OK this time so it'll get me out of that window. That didn't really change that. And just to be sure, that's for sustaining. Yeah, that's for sustaining instruments. So it should be the modulation wheel, or sorry, the volume wheel. If you were playing on a keyboard with the like modulation wheels to the left, you know, and it had a volume knob or like a slider, then it would be the volume slider that you're making sure you adjust that volume slider and not any other kind of mod wheel. For example, if you had it has some features where like if you hit a snare drum harder, it sounds different from if you hit a snare drum really soft and just turn up the volume. So that's kind of what it's referencing here. I think if I go with the volume controller, I don't think I'll lose a bunch of value on anything else. And so I'll go ahead and choose that one. And what I can do maybe is just put this back in there. It probably won't even know what to do with a buzz roll on a cymbal, which is, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's really confusing. Like, I don't think a person would kind of be confused by that marking because they don't go together. I'm gonna change that preference because it really messed up something in the winds back there. Let's just make it automatic. Get out of here with it intact. See if the cymbal roll helps. Maybe I'll change it to a different roll marking. See, yeah, it's really confused by that, which I guess I understand. Yeah, now it's like I have no idea what you're asking for. Um, I would need to indicate to the percussionist that they need to be like continuously hitting this cymbal. Um, so I would normally put a roll marking there for them, or I can literally I can put the word roll above the note. That would really kind of be enough. So for example, I could go to create here. Maybe they have one. I could search for roll. Yeah, those might be some of the symbols that go with that. But I could just as easily back out of this and use an expression instead. So I could go down here and it should be under technique text. And then, yeah, I would put something here like roll, something simple, you know, and put it above that. And of course, the um, percussionist may think to themselves, well, why didn't he just use the symbol for that? But whatever, you know, like, it is what it is. I think I'll go ahead and just write that to make this easier. And it'll confuse finale so that it doesn't sort of, it doesn't go, oh wait, what do you want me to keep hitting this button or not? Like, what do you want me to do? So it won't try to do anything, which is fine because it's you type none, don't do anything. It's not an instruction that finale is going to know, but a person's going to know it. I just think that sounds really ugly. That restrike right here. D, 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 D. And, it sounds really kind of gross. This is something I can change in the human playback preferences. So I can go, for instance, to, should be maybe, actually there's a separate one for controls. Here we go. Nope, totally wrong. Wins. How about for when they restrike under a, nope, those are more specific controls. GM instruments, general soundtrack square wave. Oh, that common thing. I don't even know. And I guess we've got general MIDI, but that's not what it should be using right now. Well, anyway, there's a specific thing where you can adjust the restriking of keys under a slur marking like this. And it could be in the document options. So like let's see, slurs, no, ties and slurs. Beats, piano bracket, braces and brackets. Brace notes. Beams, nope. Not under there. Maybe under this. Actually, you know what? Slur control. Smart shape options. Oh, that's not the right thing. Smart lines. Smart slur options. There we go. So let's do. This is all just about how it looks, not how it plays. Okay, well, that's another thing I'll have to learn about at some point. How do I adjust that? Because I would like to have it not be so harsh underneath that slur. I feel like it's re-articulating too harshly under there, and I don't like that. And that should be under here. But obviously it's not really giving me that option. It's just re-attacking those really harshly. So I just have to deal with it. If I find out a way in the future, I will let you know. Okay. And just to be sure, let me make sure we've got standard. I could go with like romantic. Let's see what that's gonna do for me. I would say that's a good way to describe what I'm going for. Ah, this poor thing does not. It's like, what do you want from me? Okay, speaking of what I want from it, let's start re rearranging this piece to be what I actually want. So I want the beginning to be very light here. And you can see I've got way too many instruments going on. Do not need all that help. So I'm going to tell bass trombone, I'm going to go into this view actually. I like using this view a lot because I don't have to worry about those page breaks making a difference. Okay, so I'm going to tell bass trombone to just get out of here. I don't need it. Trombone, I think I will use on that one thing, and that is it. Sorry, you're going to have to count. Horns. Yes, I'm going to keep them in here. Trumpets. No, I don't really need the trumpets doing that at all. What I can do instead that's really high for trombones to be trying to do that. Let me see what I've got going on here. Actually, I don't. No, I don't want to change that. I just want the hit of A and G against each other. So I think what I actually want to have happen is for not that. I want this to be up in the flutes. And yeah, because I want flutes and then I want the. Actually, you know what? I want the stability of the clarinets, just like playing it flat, no vibrato. And then I want the flutes and oboes to do this trumpet business. I'm going to put the oboes on the G. I'm going to put all the flutes on the A because that's going to balance a little differently, and having it in different voices I think will make that really interesting. Uh, do I need soprano sax on top of the horns? Not at all. Um, and let me just make sure that's a good range for the soprano sax. Actually, that's a beautiful sounding place for the soprano to be playing. That range of the instrument just sounds really wonderful. I could put cues for it in, like for an oboe solo. It's, I'd say it's getting a little on the high side to be. Well, you know, a horn could play that great, but I want the I want this quality on it. So I think I've got the opening how I want it. And I want these, let me make sure the vibraphone is going to do what I want. Would it be easier to just have a G with those both should be tied? With a trill, and since I don't have any key signature, I could put a little natural sign just to make sure um, they trill up to A natural. And there's just trill the whole time to indicate that. That may be, I think that's what I'm gonna go with here. So I'm gonna have us holding the pedal down, please, at this dynamic marking, and I'm going to scrap these rolls. Then I'm gonna scrap the A natural. I'll just keep doing it like this, whatever. Could I could select a whole note and then as long as I put a whole note above it, if I were really accurate, I could actually select the A and then this one, what I can do is just have a single strike. Move this over to hear so they don't. I mean, I wouldn't expect vibraphonist to release the pedal before before the end of the note. That's kind of how they release notes. But I also would love to err on the side of clarity. So now what I can do is I can actually use a smart shape for this. And I can go to trill right here. Right it above here, and then just draw this line all the way over, and let's see how this goes. Okay, nice. This is being the wrong instrument right now. Fantastic. So now I need to go in. Thankfully, I've already messed around with this some and found out that the MIDI note for the triangle, that actually should be correct. Yeah, it's not something else. That's actually what's happening. So let's go into this. Let's find out what we got going on here. So if this was 93, 94, 95, 96. And 96. I don't know why I have two separate channels going on here. That shouldn't really be happening. Aha. Let's see, it's it's not letting me just put them on the same. I want them to be in the same thing. There, I'll just put it all on 2. So it's all in the same thing. Now I can go to the VST, banks and effects, 2, 10. That should be 96. But I really kind of hate that it's not showing me the number that I'm hitting. I feel like that should really be up here. Which note? But it's not. Okay. Well, it's playing it now. So hopefully I like I just don't know. I hope it is fixed. Honestly, how is not that big of a deal to me right now. Okay, so I actually want to end up at mezzo piano. I want to start from as nothing as possible. So just let's go in there. I don't think it needs to be that long for them to get the point. And then I can just throw a pianissimo on here. I think, actually, I'm curious now because I think, and let me see if it has the description for this. Niente. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this means from nothing. And this, for hairpins, I could put that there to mean the same thing. Um, that would be nice, but I don't think that's a universal thing, so. Now these, I need to make sure to go ahead and put a tie on them to let the trianglist know to let that ring out. Okay. Let's give this a listen. I'm going to turn it up a little bit because I feel like I can't hear it that well. And also I'm going to put a slur marking over all of these. On these as well. Ooh, and I should copy the tuba part down to the double bass for this. That'll just help support, put that foundation out there. Ah, come on. Got it. A lot of double clicking and dragging there. I think I actually had this on the original and I may have let it fall off when I copied it over there. I didn't put it in the filter is what it's called. So, and yeah, I could have. Oh, I don't need to do that because those are the same note. Okay. I'm not going to worry about the hairpins hitting the slur markings right now because sometimes if I get out of this studio view or whatever, linear view, oh, I didn't copy that over. Yeah, sometimes it'll get rid of those conflicts for me, just by chance, but it did not. And why I missed that, missed that the soprano was still copied from over there. I want the bass clarinet doing the same as the euphonium. Do I need this many people doing this? I feel like the bass clarinet is a much more homogeneous sound with everything else that's going on. And in fact, I feel like the tuba may be a little more abrasive than I want here. And I could really put that in the bassoon. Is bassoon written 8 VA like that? Oh, okay. No, that's totally fine. I don't know why it needed to do that. And tuba and trombone can rely on each other to know when to come in there a little bit. Now, the question is, do I want to copy this in the double bass? And is the double bass, I assume the double bass is assuming arco, but why leave it up to chance? Arco. And I could also just go ahead and move it over here so they know. There we go. So it's right next to the thing they're going to play, but also a little early, so if they weren't paying attention back here, they could get up here and go, oh man, and grab the bow really quickly if they don't already have it. So, but I think the assumption for these things is arco, if nothing else is marked. So we'll go with that. And I would like to hear this from the beginning now. Don't need euphonium on this first one. Now, my kind of thought behind this extra little bit of support here from trombone and tuba is that we're going into a different sort of range. I must have been scrolled to the right a little bit when I did this before. We're going to a different, like, tessitura of these instruments here. And I want to sort of, put a little bit of a mark on that. Do I already have that? Yeah, I already have that in the double bass. That's fine. Do I want to copy the whole thing over? This is the question. What I definitely want to do is make sure this is in the bassoon part. But in the correct octave, please. Because tuba is written 8 VA. Let's see how this feels. Actually, yeah, I'm going to take trombone off of that. I totally forgot that's in unison and it doesn't need to be. Oh, that actually should be that. Be a whole note. So I've got the bass clarinet playing an octave above the bassoon. Yeah, sorry trombones. Just wait for the double bar. Let's go. Back it out a little bit so I can see all the things going on. And this is too fast. Get out of this view mode. Aha. I have not put a marking down. Either that or I have, and I deleted it earlier when I got rid of all those solemnly things. Wow, really just 8 beats. That's how far off, that's how close it was, and I could feel that it was too fast. That feels nice. To be fair, that is a bigger difference when you're going slower than it is when you're going fast. So I can't brag. I can't feel too assured by that. Ah, man. I really didn't want the trumpets to be in on that. Should have known better. Ooh, you know what I could do though? Hmm, I'll wait, I'll wait. I'm starting to get really excited about what I can do with the harp and piano in this. Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna copy this up to the piano. And I need to make sure it knows. Well, I think that's a perfectly fine way to just say hit the note, let it ring out. We can go with mezzo piano for that. Now, I am pretty aware that I'm missing a tempo marking here. Tempo marks. There we go. What do I have this playback marked as? 82? Yeah, I think. Um, I think I wanted this one. I think that's what I had here. Okay. You're just not gonna play soprano sax today, I guess? I mean, that's a choice. I can look at the other score and see what I've put there. What have I got? Solemnly, 72, nailed it. Then, oh, and we go up to, it's either Pumoso or Broadly. Nailed it. And then Tempo Primo, there really needs to be a double bar right there if that's what that's going to be. And then, yeah, slowly. Accelerando to the Proudly. I still feel like having this other window just in the background there is kind of slowing this down. But that's okay. Um, let's see what's going on with this. All right, we've got this going on in the horn and the tuba. That's too much. It does not need to be happening in the horns. Um, I could possibly live with it being in the bassoon, but it is an octave too high. Oh, what just happened? Oh, okay. The correct thing just happened. Okay, and then that's in the right spot, I believe. Let's try this, and I'll go ahead and go past the fermata here. I don't really need it. And I think I'm going to send the tuba home on this one. Actually, what I may do is send the bassoon going up that octave. And then drag my one player and piano over here and have the tuba join in this note down the octave to build up to this section. Something I don't like is happening. Where is it? This clarinet, I feel like, is very high. Are they not in unison? Can I just get rid of that? Okay, yeah, and of course that's happening because the soprano cannot play two notes at the same time. So it's like, what do you want me to do here? It's got to pick one of these lines, and it just happened to pick the bottom one, so I have to get rid of that. It was originally for an alto saxophone section, and now it's for one soprano saxophone player, so I could. I would like to copy this up to the flutes, and then move this up to the oboe. Get rid of that. Actually move it back down to the clarinet, and I will use my nifty filter. Of course, it's selecting like everything right now. To copy everything except these. And I think that will do it. Hopefully, yes. Boom. Now it looks normal going up there. And then I can say, I can put on here the A2 marking. Or even just solo. I think that would be appropriate. So A2 would be if this were like oboes 1 through 4, but I had two oboe parts. the second, like half of the section should not play. If I write solo, I think that's more clear that this is definitely a solo. I'm also going to put that on the soprano sax just so they know. Ooh, actually, maybe that's not a good idea. Because then I would have to mark that the solo has ended. Maybe like with tutti over here, but anyway, I'll figure it out. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put solo on the bassoon as well. And then over here it can be tutti. I'm questioning that little change in the melody. Um, and because I liked that. And then I think I like the contour of this better too. Wow, could that suspended symbol get a little more intrusive? Jeez. maybe somewhere someone will have the answer to making that sound better. I just don't want to waste any more of anyone's time trying to figure that out here. Ugh. This is a good way to do this if I want to change it to just the second half of the note, move it over like that instead of just deleting the first half of the bar and then having to reapply all of your other markings. And this will be fine if it just goes to like a mezzo forte, a mezzo piano actually. That'll be just fine. And okay, you're not going to select that slur now? Let's go. Okay. Put her there. Make sure that's assigned to this note, and boom, get rid of that. I don't really need this build up to happen in too many instruments. So actually, just having that happen in the flutes there, I think is going to be the better solution. and then add the clarinets in afterwards because they could easily overpower that sound. And the flutes will not take up as much space. Be a little more shimmery. Let's go with that. And play. Okay, I've done plenty of starting work on this. And I will have to do the rest later. So thank you for watching out there. If you're watching now, later, whatever, if it's helpful to you, I hope it is. Even if you're hate watching, whatever, thanks for the views. And hopefully, well, I won't see you, but hopefully you join me next time, and I'll see your comments and whatever you leave for me.